we have made it all the way to the R's, which was my goal last time, was to make it to the R's. Hello, Arba. Hello, Nocturne. Hello, Cole. We've made it to the R's. My goal last time was to make it to the R's because there's a lot of R's and there's a lot, mostly because of Resident Evil, and there's a lot of S's, mostly because of Silent Hill. But there's also Siren and Stalker and System Shock. So we've got some games. We got some games we need to talk about. Just a little, you know? Turn it down in OBS, maybe. That might that'll do the trick. Okay, so first up, Realms of Haunting, or whatever it's called. Hang on. Realms of Haunting, yeah. Realms of the Haunting, which is, I believe, at least a little bit of an FMV game. Based on what I've seen of it. As one of them. Is this the actual... Okay, that is the actual box. The battleground between ultimate good and evil. Not the ultimate battleground, but the battleground between ultimate good and evil. Very... Celtic, CD, / eventually Lord of the Rings looking... font. We got some kind of Celtic thing going on here. Everybody's face is so muddled. Let's zoom in. What is actually happening? I think there's supposed to be a lot of interesting things happening here. And I'm gonna say no. I mean, look at this. What is going on with this sword? What is this? So the T is the sword, which would be clever, but what is this? What is this supposed to be right here? I'm confused. This looks like a plastic doohickey from like a kid's toy. What is happening here? Gosh, is it? Oh gosh. I'm just debating whether it's C or D tier. Realms of Haunting. Where are you going? Yeah, you're kind of D tier for me because you're so forgettable. What is it more interesting than? I'll put it above Hell Knight but below Juggernaut. For the moment. Alright, Resident Evil, let's... Oh, it's time to buckle down. And I included, for Resident Evil, I included both versions of the first. Okay, so... Yes, we're going to need you, and we're gonna need you, and we're gonna need a couple of y'alls. There's two different versions of at least two versions of what the director's cut looks like. I think my director's cut looked like this, to be honest. But I guess this was the greatest hits version. And this version is also more reminiscent of this really, really terrible, really awful Chris Redfield art with is it Chris? Or is it, I just realized I was just looking at the vest. I've always just assumed, like, not even paying that much attention to this, that it was supposed to be Chris. But actually, is this, oh, what's his name? Hi, Pank. I remember playing RE2 as a kid and being absolutely ass at it. So was I. I was bad at that one. This is the PAL one, but I'm pretty sure NTSC was similar. Yeah, here's the NTSC version. It's basically the same. This is real. It's not good. And honestly, the director's cut, greatest hits edition, not so great either. We got Bob the Zombie here. Giving us his best angles. Richard, yeah, maybe it's Richard. It looks like it could be Richard a little bit. That his face is like that, so if people see it from multiple perspectives, it'll draw them in. That was a theory. Yeah, I don't think it worked. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this worked, my guys. This is not good. I don't know that I will say I don't know that it's D tier, but it's at least C tier for me. Especially because it's like, I can't figure out what's happening in the background. That background, I closed it, but like, here. What is happening back here? It looks like it's supposed to be almost like Rorschach test esque, like Zambino faces and spiders. Like, I think this is a big tarantula here. Like, they're mirroring. Oh yeah, Manhunt's on the list. Let's see, where did I put 1? 2 got put in D tier because so for if you were just joining us, I am not. This is all, besides the fact that this is all just my opinion. This is also me trying to judge box art covers based on whether or not they would cause me to pick up and perhaps purchase that game, not whether or not I even like the game. Because I don't like Phantasmagoria, but it's in B tier. I don't like this game. It's a terrible game. It's not good. It has its place in gaming history. But we won't open that can of worms. It's a bad game. Whereas, like, no, I'm not. We're not even gonna go down that way. Where did I put Manhunt? Where did I put Manhunt? I think I put it in B tier somewhere, didn't I? Why can't I see where I put it? Where did I put Manhunt? Manhunt, where are you? Did I leave you in B? Maybe. Oh, there it is, next to Dementium. It's in C. I feel like it should be higher in C, but then again, these are all like... These C are high C, low B, really. They're B minuses. So... Because it's less likely to get me to pick it up. Like, Kuon's one of my favorite games ever. It's still C tier. It's a C tier fucking box art. It's not a good box art. And also, we're focusing on North American for the most part here. Resident Evil 2 definitely has better. It's definitely better. It is better. Okay, I can't load that page. Thank you. Yes. And 3's is okay. This is not the version I want. There we are. I mean, this is PAL, but it's the same for NTSC. This is solid. I don't even care that I don't know what I'm looking at. This weird 3-fingered creature. But like, this is a solid cover, and it would get me to have a peek. I'd have a look-see. Oh, I gotta do. You know what? I'm gonna say director's cut isn't nearly as bad, but it's still C tier for me. It's just not that interesting. I've given up on trying to arrange my tiers for the most part, other than trying to boost ones that I think aren't nearly as bad. This is at least a B tier for me. I don't know that I would put it, I don't think I could put it in A, but it's high. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Yeah. There we go. We should have gotten City of the Dead instead of Land of the Dead. Road to Fiddler's Green, worst tie-in movie game ever. Index fingers hiding behind the title. That's a 4-fingered creature. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Solid. Yes. Very good. Gosh, where do I put you, Nemesis? Where do I put you? Maybe I just put you next to Resident Evil 2. Do I do that? Or do I put you kind of over here? No, I think I'm thinking really to just put them next to each other and not fuss about it too much. You know, it's really funny because I just rewatched like someone playing the remake of 3. And I was reminded of, because like I think the first time I sat through that game, I was a little bit more forgiving of its faults. And I don't know, it just didn't bother me nearly as much. But now looking back on it, it has definitely not aged as nicely as the others. It still plays really nicely. And I don't mind Trash Bag Nummy. I like him with his weird hamster face and everything. But the way he moves is just not nearly as scary as he was in the original. Like, this is the one Resident Evil where it's like, nah, you're probably better off just going back and playing the old one if you're looking for a certain experience. If you don't care about that, just play the remake, whatever. You won't be missing anything. Hatashi. Wish you could see more Demis types in the games. I'm surprised they haven't brought it back. Maybe we'll get it in Requiem. I mean, this would be the time. This would be the time. There's also some characters they've never brought back that baffle me. It just baffles me that they have never made use of them again, and I'm like, they're so strong. Why 4? Okay, RE4, I gotta be real, your original box art is just not great. The PS2/GameCube box art, not a fan of this, this look, which is the one that I got. I actually had a steelbook version of the PS2 version, because I didn't have a GameCube at the time, so I couldn't play it initially. And then when it came out on PS2, I got it, and someone had traded in their, like, for whatever reason, they traded in their steelbook version, and this is what was on the cover, so this is what I associate as Resident Evil 4. And to be frank, boring. I find this actually really boring, and if I wasn't excited to see Leon, and the whole point of this is me not trying to put as little of my character and game biases in there as possible, I would look at this and be like, this is not any better than maybe it's Richard on the cover of the first game. It's just not good. Yeah, it's really bad. I'm gonna have to mess with you 3, because I gotta stare at some of these top D ones and see if you belong below them. But I'm gonna try to get through all the Resident Evils first. Let's get through them. Look, it's a cool guy, everyone. Baby girls, play it. Yeah, they forgot a lot of things in Resident Evil 3, and it was definitely, like, people like to blame it on, like, oh, it was the B team. It's their fault. It's like, no, it's the fault of the people with the money who said this has to come out in a year. So it's the thing that 3 suffers from the most is a lack of environmental storytelling. I really like the start of it. The start is so strong because no one would expect them to do that. And it was so great. And then it just, the further you get from, like, walking around in the city, the worse it gets. It's not like it's bad, it's just not that exciting. So, when you rush games, you get sloppy products. It's true. It's not the game, Tenshi. It's the art. You've seen this art, right? It's the cover art. It's bad. I can put Corpse Party in low D. There's better ones. There's several. I can't do every Higurashi game. And I can't do every Corpse Party game. We would be here for another 3 streams. So I just wanted to give them a little, like, yes, I've seen the Higurashi art. I've never seen a cover I liked. Never once. Same with Corpse Party. There's one Corpse Party one that I tolerate. I think they're all kind of terrible. But that's a personal opinion about the art. It's not for me. I like the games. The games are great. I don't like any of them. Alright, oh, fucking 5. Can't just give me the games for Windows version. Do it. Nothing kills my excitement more than I do like Sheva. I would be like, oh, she looks kind of cool. But no, this is another one of those. Oh, I put the remakes here first. Well, here, we'll do 5. This is no. This is no. This is a big nope from me. Big old nada. Hell no. Hearing me rate game covers feels similar to how people talk about Star Wars. I'm very, very picky as far as like what actually makes it into S tier. And I'm always like this. S tier has to be like, not just S tier, really. It has to be like SS plus tier mentally for me. And these are the only 3 that have made it up there. So. Hi, 6. So, okay. Here, you know what? No, I'm gonna do 6 and then we'll go back and do our remake and stuff like that. Okay, because 6 is also not good. These are bad box arts. Like 6 at least. So like, if I didn't know anything about the game, if I didn't know anything about the game, if it was just this would actually get my attention more than this. This does not get my attention so good. This makes me go, oh, generic crap. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. Whereas, yeah, just if it's just this, which is actually the image that a lot of digital things will like, they'll just use this. They won't use the version with the characters on it. This would actually be like, oh, yeah, that actually looks like it might be interesting. Ooh, why is it all like webby and stuff? But no. God, this is bad. Oh, jeez, where do I put this? Where do I put it? 6, you go down here. Way down here. You're not F. That's reserved for certain ones. Did I type in 6, 7? I wish. That would have been funnier. Okay. All right. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Resident Evil, aka remake. This is it's, you know, my relationship with this game is funny. I played a lot of the director's cut on PlayStation. That was the copy. That was the version that I just had. It was given to me. And I didn't actually play the remake that much. I like watching other people play it. There's something about it that like which it doesn't jive for me, and not that it's like bad or that I dislike it, just I don't ever go, oh man, I want to play a remake. I never think that. I just don't. I don't ever get that urge. If I even have an inkling of that, it's like I'll just watch somebody else play it. It's okay. Even though I did repurchase it on my PSVR. So I could play it anytime. I don't know, maybe I just need to play it again myself and see how I feel about it. Because I like it. It's a good remake. It's a solid remake. And I love the addition of Lisa Trevor. Lisa Trevor's wonderful. And yet, this box art, like, it's neat. I like that Jill is in danger, but she is not like, oh no, she's like grabbing him by the collar like, don't you fucking bite me. Don't you dare. Hi, Toaster. Resident Evil 6 almost killed Capcom. We'll leave it at that. This one's pretty solid. This one's pretty solid. I don't know where I would want to put it in B. Let's see. Where do I even put it? Maybe like, yeah, after the Fatal Frames, but before the Left 4 Deads. And I think Mizurna Falls needs to go up above them, to be honest. Yeah, Nightmare Creatures. Nightmare Creatures got the love. Nightmare Creatures 2 did not, as far as box art goes. Sorry, Nightmare Creatures. 0. Okay. Here we go. I like the logo for 0. I don't know. I like that they actually used the slash and everything. And the backdrop actually is kind of interesting, but it's just not very interesting. Let's see, where do I put you? Does it go above or below 5? Like, how I can't compare Rebecca and Sheva. They're very different characters. Or does it go, yeah. Or does it go below Yellow Bleed? And, here. I think I'm actually gonna put it down here because of Billy's fucking tribal tattoos. That's literally, like, that would just make me go, I'm not picking that up. just judging it by its cover. Hi, Jade. How's it going? Nightmare Creatures 2 was again a victim of rush production. It was. The cover is really bad. And it has a really bad, like, kind of childish font. It's not great. I do think the 0 style is more interesting. So, like, if this is the cover, no, this is B tier, at least. But that's not the cover that I saw on the shelves, and I definitely never felt inclined to pick it up, even though I liked Resident Evil, and I was curious about Rebecca's story. But he's cool and badass, and he's a bad little boy. Billy is not one of the characters that I ever want to see revisited. He can just go into the sunset. It's fine. Where are the Ashfords? Even if you're like, no, Alexia's really gone. Okay, but Alfred's not. If Wesker can live, Alfred can survive. And Alfred, if you got rid of some of the problematic ways other characters responded to him, oh, he would actually be really scary. He's really off-putting. He's very like, oh, what is this guy's, oh, he can't shoot me with a laser sight, but his laugh is ringing in my ears. Like, they could turn him into a scary motherfucker. Dealing with the cold, it is also cold here, though not nearly as bad as it is in some places. We're not dealing with as much storm, just some snow and ice and cold. More vague helps. I don't like characters having characters on the cover. It's a horror game. Sheva, she's right here with Chris between Darkwatch and Illbleed. And it's only Sheva that is saving that cover. That is the only reason why it's there. I want to put it down here, but I'm like, Shiva's kind of saving it a little bit. She's saving it a little bit. They may get bumped down, though. When I'm finished with all the Resident Evils, I'm rearranging them as I desire. Okay, Code Veronica. I accidentally left remake in the title, but it doesn't matter. Alright, here we go. Code Veronica. This is the box art for fucking everything, everywhere, seems like. Look at baby face version of Quiz. Oh no, and the actual sick you've been coughing all day cold. Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope it passes quickly. I feel like Alfred could definitely be a far scary antagonist with the split personality thing, not just the incidental transphobia. Yeah, like you don't need to, like, the only reason why, well, I'm not gonna say the only reason. Part of the reason why that all ended up being kind of problematic had nothing to do with the fact that he was cross-dressing or anything like that. It was other characters' reaction to the idea that he was doing that, including Claire. They made Claire be like, ew, you freak. And I was like, Claire is a weirdo, like, a fucking motorcycle riding, orphaned, raised by her older brother, like, I don't know. It seemed like a really odd thing to give her in that game, because in every other game she's so just like, I'm motherly and accepting and I take care of you, and it's like, why suddenly make her an asshole? I don't understand. Anyway, I don't want to get down, we're going down a rabbit hole. We're here to talk about the box art. Not that interesting, but like Sheva, Claire is saving it a little bit with her flowy ponytail. Her flowy ponytail's kind of saving it a little bit. Don't love it. Don't hate it. I'll put it here. There's a bunch of these guys sitting in C. You don't have any pee. Like, oh no. He looks like, he does. Chris totally looks like a Virtual Fighter character on the cover. He really does. Okay. All right. Now we get to do, you know what? Before we do 7 and 8, let's do the Outbreak games. Let's do the Outbreak games, because the US one, at least the US box art, is almost identical for each one, which is unfortunate. So we get Outbreak. Jericho disappointed you so bad it's so much potential. Once again, they rush it to the grave. I could never figure out what was going on with the cover. The only thing on the cover that sounded interesting was the fact that it was like Clive Barker, and I was like, oh, okay. This is actually a really neat cover, and I can speak. This is one of those games where I have like anecdotal evidence of me not even knowing this was a thing. I didn't know this was a thing. This multiplayer fucking Resident Evil game. I didn't know it was a thing, and then I just like stumbled on it in the bargain bin one day and was like, wait, this looks really cool. I play as like regular people in the city just trying to GTFO. Yeah, I 100%ed the first Outbreak. I didn't 100% File 2. I had a harder time going through File 2 solo, but I did 100% the zoo scenario in 2. But because I loved it so much, but I loved Outbreak. I loved it. Japan's Outbreak covers go really hard. Yeah, they're good. They're good. Yeah, this, I do like that it's the sewer escape thing. So yeah, this is super solid. And then let's look at, is this, yeah, this, here's the PAL cover, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. Here's, I'll save this. That's gonna be File 2. Outbreak box art, let's say Japan. I think Japan's was similar to yeah. It's like the PAL one, but it has like a black backdrop instead. It's just cool. It's cool art. And then art. I've got file 2 pulled up for NTSC, but so this is PAL's. It's similar to ours. And then yeah, the Japan one. This one, it seems like everybody's was the same. You know, like a version of this one. Except in the PAL one, is it just the PAL one? The PAL one, they take the gun out of the guy's hand. But what about the Japanese one? I can't tell very well. It's so tiny. I think he's got the gun in his hand. Yeah, in the PAL one, they took the gun out of the guy's hand. Yeah, this imagery is just really cool. I actually think taking the gun out isn't a bad idea because the gun may, like, literally, I was just saying they looked the same. They don't look the same. But because the gun's right in the middle, my brain, like, inserted a totally different version of this image. My part of this whole thing, your friend won't let me drink when you're a monster. No! Good concept art. Yeah, the composition's great. Gonna lurk entitled flushes from yes, get to feel better, Jade. Yeah, well, it should evoke a rescue thing, because the thing with Outbreak is that, like, whether you're playing with robots, essentially, or if you're playing with friends, either way, thank you for the hydrate, you have to work together. If you leave somebody behind, they are super fucked. Like, they are super fucked. And the interesting thing about Outbreak is that if you go down, one of the meters you have, you don't just have a health meter, you also have a virus meter. And the more you get hurt, the more your virus meter go up. As time passes, your virus meter also passively goes up. If you are laying on the floor semi-incapacitated, like trying to get help, like somebody needs to help pick you up, your virus meter starts shooting through the roof. So the idea was that if your virus hit 100% and you were playing online with people, you would turn into a zombie and then attack them. Like, you could play the zombie and attack the other people. It was cool. It was way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time. Sorry, my water went down the wrong pipe. Excuse me. I don't mean to cough right to the mic. Okay, so Outbreak and File 2. Ooh. Are these both? Ooh, they might be both A tier for me. I could put 1 in B, high B, and 2 in A, potentially. Because, yeah, like, this is just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this. Fuck yeah. I'll fucking buy that. Gimme. Alright. Boy, okay. Didn't mean to close this. Resident Evil 7 box art, which I put, this is one of the rare ones where I put the regular and the quote-unquote deluxe up because they are just such very different creatures, and I wanted to look at them separately. So here's regular, and here's deluxe. They're both good. Yeah, Resident Evil 7, which is 7 might be my favorite Resident Evil game, no exaggeration. I am a sucker for the setting. That helps a lot. I would say that like, but like the Outbreak games are also some of my favorites. Like, don't get me wrong, one's a classic, two's a classic, three's a classic, and I love them. But like when I think about which one would I boot up right now, I kind of want to play Outbreak. I kind of want to play 7 or play one of the 7 DLCs or something like. And then maybe it would be honestly probably 3. I'm kind of like itching to replay 3 after re-experiencing the remake and being like, oh, oh. But this is a great. This is fantastic. This is really good. The house is creepy. The composition, the shadowy child. Like, I'm also somebody that like I'm not necessarily going to immediately give you brownie points for having creepy kid on the cover. You know, obviously, where I have placed the various fear box art is all over. Okay, it's all over the place. Having a creepy Alma or a creepy Alessa or whatever on your cover is not going to necessarily mean that I am super excited. However, if you do it right, it doesn't come across as, hey, look, we have a creepy child, and it comes across as, oh, what's going on here? Oh, no. It gets the vibe. This gets the vibe across so well. And I like the deluxe one too. I think it's very unique, and I like you've got like this like weird sigil thing happening, and you've got I'm not sure if this is supposed to be I'm not 100% sure if this is supposed to be Mia or if this is supposed to be Evie, but either way, it doesn't matter. Like, this is just a very solid silhouette piece with the house still included. There's a lot of, you know, some of it, you're like, your eyes are like trying to parse what it is you're looking at. Man, yeah, they're both really, really good. Really good. So, where do I put you? Okay. So, mentally divorcing myself from knowing about Resident Evil or anything. Creepy sigil thing? Creepy sigil thing. Creepy sigil thing? Go very high on list. Actually, hey, Resident Evil, go up. Like, very high. Just creepy house, also strong. Also very strong. I don't know where to put it. Because I also think it's kind of A tier. I'll put it next to the Fear since they both have a creepy house in the background. How's that?
Hello, Kachi. Thank you for the pun.
Alright, here we go. Village! Village. I feel like Village is interesting because Chris is an important player in the story of Village, but he's not the main character. So it was always interesting to me that they opted to do this and have this wolfy thing. I like the werewolf lichen thing happening, although I feel like the overlap is a little awkward because it's like they've lined up the eye, but they didn't really line up like the snout and the teeth. I don't know. Down here where you can get a bit of a vista, that looks cool. Like, this is very neat. It would get my attention if I didn't know anything about Resident Evil. It would certainly get my attention, and I would think it was all about werewolves. Which it is for a few minutes. Starring that fucker Chris. I feel like, okay, let me just air my feelings regarding Requiem for a moment here. I was a lot more excited for Requiem before they announced Leon being involved. I actually kind of went, oh, you don't have faith in this product. That was my initial reaction. I was like, so you don't have faith. You literally just succeeded. You made 2 games with a completely new character and a totally new storyline with minimal interference from the old crew, and everyone I know who has been a longtime Resident Evil fan was really excited about, yes, more new characters. We don't have to always be going back to the same guys over and over again. And then they announced Leon, and I was like, literally the worst one you could have announced. I would have rather it was Chris. I would rather that they were giving Chris one more chance. Why not Jill? You have done Jill dirty. You did her dirty by throwing her in Revelations, which was mediocre at best. Sorry, I know some people really liked it. It's just a DS game, for God's sake. You did her dirty in the remake. I really like her remake version. I like the actress and who they got to do the mocap and everything. I like her new look. I actually like her new look just as much as I like her old tube top. Why not Jill? Why not Claire, who has also similarly been ignored since Code Veronica, except for Revelations 2, another Revelations game, and CG movies of highly varying qualities, none of them terribly high. There are so many characters you could have brought back that I would not have immediately knee-jerked and gone, why? I like Leon. I'm a fan of Leon. I'm sick and tired of Leon. Leon, it has been the Leon show for like a decade, it feels like at this point. I'm probably exaggerating. Am I exaggerating? I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. Let me think about this. The original Resident Evil 4? Yeah, no, not exaggerating at all. More than 10 years. Like, ooh, it gets me really agitated. It gets me really, really agitated. I haven't even looked at chat. I'll be with you in a moment. It just makes me really agitated because I love that they've made Leon old. He doesn't look like he's an old guy doing things, but I like that they made him old. I'm tired of seeing Leon. I was so excited for a new character, and if you were going to bring back a legacy character, why not make it somebody else? People would be so excited to see someone else. Also, I don't know if you noticed, Capcom, but like femme power is kind of hot and kind of in right now. You could have put so many other characters in that place and had it be this cool, like, older lady, younger lady, doing the things, and still had the action-y stuff. Like, I'm the closer we get to Requiem, the more worried I am about Requiem, and I hope I eat my hat. Anyway, I'll read chat now that I've gotten that out of my system. So mad we didn't get a werewolf, Chris. I'm also mad. I thought that's what that was implying. He's like a bad side villain, yeah. If Chris were to turn into a werewolf, his jaw would be more towards... Yeah, no, absolutely. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, actually, maybe you shouldn't have had the teeth. Like, just have the eye. The teeth makes it awkward. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Hex. You liked Revelation? I know plenty of people liked Revelations. I did not care for it. I did not finish it. And same with Revelations, too. I just couldn't do it. It wasn't that interesting. And to all, Chris is a base human. This man punched a boulder. Not one injury. I know, right? Come on, man. I'd love to see old Chris who's like, actually, that arm's shot these days. I had to learn to, like, fire a gun with my offhand. Like, that'd be great. Be fine with it if it wasn't someone we haven't seen in a while or a character who hasn't gotten their own game, like Ada. Ada would have been an incredible choice. Incredible choice. I think the one that I would have appreciated the most here would have been Claire or Jill, simply because I like the idea of like the legacy femme passing torch to a new femme character, whose mother is already part of the canon because of Outbreak. Alyssa was my favorite character to play as. I almost exclusively played as Alyssa. Occasionally I would play as someone else, like Yoko. I think I played a bit of David because he has like the tape, so I would like get some of my event point stuff done by having like the tools already. But yeah, I almost played exclusively as Alyssa when I played the Outbreak games. And her inclusion in the greater canon always excited me. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna go down any rabbit holes, and I've gone down like 5. He'll give us a new Rebecca. Could you imagine if it was Rebecca going in there with Gray? Oh my god, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Ada would have been such a base choice. Oh man, bring back Ashley. It's been so long. It's so long. I would love old lady Jill. You want more Joe Baker's about? I love Joe. He's a funny guy. Jack, I spent, whenever I play Resident Evil 7 and I have to fight Jack Baker, I just sing "Hit the Road, Jack." But then he's like one of my favorite villains in anything. He's fantastic. He's wonderful. Just put some waifus in Resident Evil. It's like they think we won't. They were like, oh, we have to make them older, so it has to be one of the men, because then they can be like hot and old. You know, ladies can't be hot and old. Like, that's how it reads to me. That's how it reads to me. Not necessarily their intention, but it does make me tap my foot a little and go, really? What? Are you scared to put one of your legacy women older in a game? Seeing how Ashley's gotten on after having lived me through Bingo Night many years later would be great. What if big Outbreak collab? I mean, I just want them to remake Outbreak. Just redo Outbreak. Don't change the systems too much. Give us quality of life stuff, but still make it like, just make it the events points where like, you just have to kind of figure it out. And then if you're into it and you want 100% it, you look up the things you need to do and you're like, ah, and then you learn how to do it. You figure it out. And you figure out which characters are best at doing what things. Give us a bioweapon character that's overpowered and all he has to deal with the bioweapon, but give us human characters that treat them like threats. Yeah. Yeah, I would love, oh my god, old lady. That theoretically, because of how Ada's already shown how she ages flawlessly, right? Like that would solve their finicky, like,
but what if people don't want to see an old lady?
Shut the fuck up and put one in there. I want Jill with crow's feet. I want Claire, you know, she's one of the younger characters too. Like, Claire's one of the younger characters, so she could totally come back and still be like tough older lady, you know, someone for Grace to look up to. I don't know, it's really goofy. Also, why are none of Grace's extra costumes her mom's pantsuit? I'm asking the hard-hitting questions, guys. Anyway, yeah, make Outbreak, but like put Outbreak and File 2 together into like one big package. I'd play the fuck out of that. Then my part trying to add a related DVD. That'd be cool. I don't play that game no more, but that would be cool. But people don't want an old lady. Do you know how badly I want Ada with streaks of gray in her hair landing devastating kicks? I know, right? Anyway, let me, now that I've gone down, I aired my grievances. Let's rank Village. So like if I didn't know anything about this is still a pretty solid cover. I'd be like, ooh, werewolves, you know? I'll put it with these guys here. I don't know if it's, then again, I don't know if it's more exciting than these guys. How about you go down here next to Darkseid? Yeah. I have tried, and then sometimes I go, wait, why is this one down here? I can't arrange. I can't arrange too much Okay. But now I have to make some decisions here about where these Resident Evil games go. Okay, you... Director's cut, you come down here. You come down here. Maybe above Obscure too. God. Guy with gun. Yeah, they can just hang out there. I don't have the energy to fight with myself. They could just hang out there. They're not great. Okay. We got not one but two Ring games. Ring Infinity or something like that was one of them. Which is kind of a visual novel-ish thing. From the Wonder Swan. Oh, there's multiple Ring games, actually. I just put 2 on the list, but, this is an okay box art. Very distracted by the fact it says Wonder Swan. We're gonna try to ignore that. Gosh, where do I put you? I put you... You're not, like, super exciting, but you're not the worst. Where did I put you? Maybe next to Extermination? So I really like the logo for Extermination. That was why it ended up as high as it did.
Hey, Queen.
Yes, I use Doom as an example of more like a horror adjacent action-y title, because it's still, it is, no matter how action-y it is still quite horror. It is still full of horror, like blood and guts and all kinds of stuff. Oh boy, here we go. And also I just wanted to talk about the comparison between like the original Doom cover and the Doom 2016 cover and how they echo each other. I just wanted an excuse to talk about that. And then Doom 3 actually was trying to be like a weird survival horror first-person shooter thing. Didn't really succeed, but it did actually try to do that. It tried to put itself in that genre. Yes, Ring Infinity is a visual novel, essentially. I think there might have been a mobile version, I forget. And Doom 2016 has some phenomenal horror atmosphere during the downtime. And I love the lore. The lore is great. It's horror, but the monsters are scared of you. They won't stop coming, though. So that's kind of a small version. We have a bigger version here. Kinda, sorta, maybe. Here we go. So I did do a one-off of this a while back. I think for my first stream anniversary, we played the first couple hours of this game. It's an experience. The Demon's Fear response is fight. That's fair. This isn't this. It's a thing. Anyway, looking at this cover, it doesn't look so good. It looks a little silly and a little cheesy, but I kind of like that. I sometimes like that in a game. So it's not necessarily like this cover is not a good cover, but it's cheesy in a way I kind of like. Where do I put it? Like, do I put it with Blue Stinger, which I put where it is for similar reasons? Like, that's not a good game. It doesn't matter. Or do I put it, like, down here with, like, Iru or something? Or with Carrier? Maybe here next to like calling. Imabiki Soul. Half the face looks like it should be on a shirt for an early 2000s Fangoria site. Blitzfire is taking you out, though it's not even remotely conforming to anything of what's below it. Nope. That basically sums up the Ring Terrors realm. You bought Obscure for Freddy hasn't finished it yet. I'm shocked I beat that game. I'm shocked I beat that game. But that was a long time. That was back in the days of PS2 when you had I feel like I had a lot more patience for redoing things. Alright, what came after? Sorry, I already forgot. What came after Ring? Rise of Nightmares. Yes! Yes! Oh, man. Where's the TV? Where's the Sadako? Honestly, most of the game, none of that is involved, so don't worry about it. So here's the thing. These hands are actually really creepy. And the logo is fine. It's not super exciting, but it's fine. Ignoring the Kinect. We're gonna ignore the Kinect sticker, okay? Let's pretend the Kinect is not involved here, right? Or maybe I borrowed one from a friend and I'm thinking of purchasing a game to play with it. It's this part of the face. It's this face that I don't believe for a second is reacting to these particular hands on their face. They look like these guys, they just look a little surprised. They should look horrified, maybe crying. Like, there's some bizarro culty things happening in this game. This is one of those games where, like, if you were to take the concept of it and completely rehaul it as a totally different game in another couple years, I'd buy it. I would buy it. I would absolutely buy it. Make it a more traditional horror game. The fucking ballerinas and stuff like that. Oh my god. There were great ideas in this game, but it was a Kinect game. And therefore, no. The Kinect is the scariest part. You can't even put in words the sheer utter disappointment Rise of Nightmares brought you. Yeah, the face I make when I see a game requires the Kinect. I know, right? That's how it reads even. That's how it reads even. It's just, oh. God, where do I put you, Rise of Nightmares? Where do I put you? Maybe next to Days Gone? Yeah, it's not good, but it doesn't give me like I'm gonna puke reaction or anything. It's just lame. It's just oh, that's unfortunate. Rule of Rose. Oh, my beloved. This is at least A tier for me immediately, just at a glance. If I didn't know what this game was, which when I bought it, I didn't really. I just knew that it was an obscure horror thing, and the EB Games happened to have a copy when I was in there, and I was in there to get one of the Raito games, actually. One of the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoners. One of the Raito games. I was in there to get that because I had a hard time finding that, and they just happened to also have a copy of Rule of Rose, and I was like, guess I'm spending more money than I expected tonight. So, I mean, this game goes for a couple $100 now, even if it's like a opened copy. I paid $25, I think. It was still a lot for like a used copy of a game back then, but worth it. I feel like fight your way through laboratory filled with unspeakable evil would be far more successful game given a third-person spin. Absolutely. Even I wouldn't even mind if it was first person. If, you know, Yeah. Clear case of less is more. Builds intrigue, clear, memorable imagery, especially because you're like, oh, what an odd, this like hand done, like it's not a font. It's each letter has been drawn individually. The R's are different from each other, The E's are different from each other. The O's are different. And then the rose with the figure of the girl, and then you've got the imagery from the game. You got the butterfly, the bird, the rabbit. But then you have the dog, but your dog is like being held up in a very awkward, unpleasant fashion. And it's all just so on point. This is at least A tier. Do I make this S? This is like high A. I might need to move it into S territory. Just at a glance. Like, I didn't know shit about this game. I just bought it because I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Why the logo like now? You need the lore reason. I'm gonna buy this game to know the lore of the logo. Right? Having briefly been a part of a game studio, I often look back at games and go, okay, but like, let's make this good/fun. That does get lost sometimes. It does. Trying to create an experience, quote unquote. And I'm not using that word in the sense of like a VR experience or a walking simulator experience. I mean, like, people get caught up in we gotta genre break. We gotta knock their socks off. It's like, no, just do what you're doing well and make it fun. If it knocks my socks off, all the better, but like, I'm not gonna, like, not every game needs to knock my socks off. I just need to enjoy it. Oh boy, sanitarium, more eyeballs. Big bulgy eyeballs staring at us. Sometimes you gotta remember that people are gonna be interacting with it. You wanna make it something people want to interact with. Oh boy. I feel like I saw this box on the shelf in the, like at a Best Buy or something when I was younger. And I was certainly taken by it. I was like, whoa, what's that? As much as I love eyeballs, it definitely grabs my attention and it makes me want to pick up the box and see what the game's about. Here's the back. But that being said, I don't know that I can put it higher than B. I don't know that I don't know if it gets to hang out with my other eyeball games, I feel like it's lower than that for me. Maybe here? Like, conceptually, if I was purely rating it conceptually, B, maybe even A. But as far as like me wanting to pick the game up off the shelf and buy it, it gets my attention. Doesn't necessarily make me want to buy it. Ooh, Scratches! Who remembers Scratches? I played this game really late. Way after its heyday. And still really enjoyed it. It's a old school first person adventure game kind of thing. Much rather have someone enjoy their time in the game than having their socks blown off. Not really much of a fee guy to begin with. Please play it on stream. And not every game can knock one's socks off. I'm not gonna have my socks knocked off by like the next Call of Duty or next Super Mario. You need the right concept to knock someone's socks off. Also, like, it's all, and also that's just so, there's the lightning in a bottle kind of feel is pretty infrequent. And it's interesting so I'll give the example. As successful as Elden Ring is, it somehow, to me, still didn't quite capture the lightning in a bottle feeling that Bloodborne had. And maybe that's just because Bloodborne had the weird exclusivity thing going on, so people were scrambling to, like, be a part of it. But, you know, like, Elden Ring, to be fair, Elden Ring still is kind of like, there will never be anything like Elden Ring. Because the only people who could make it never want to make it again. And that's super fair. I don't think they should. I don't think they should, because that would ruin the studio, I'm pretty sure. I think I would just do them in. But just as far as, like, that sensation of, like, whoa, where did this come from? Elden Ring we knew was coming, and we knew it was going to be, you know... So, like, the framing of the game coming out also has an effect on how we perceive its power to knock our socks off. You know, Bloodborne was kind of like a little out of nowhere. We didn't really know what to expect with it. The Curse of Jerry. Why'd you leave me in an abandoned haunted house, Jerry? But yeah, I mean, solid cover, gets the point across. I've never been so scared by a game so much. Honestly, I mean, I played it late, but it still was like, ooh, yeah, this is creepy. You know, I was into it. Gosh, where did I put it as a cover though? Maybe I should put it next to Alone in the Dark. Yeah, let's have the creepy houses hang out together. We're making them do that up in A tier with the Fear and Resident Evil 7. So maybe we do that down there too. Okay. Oh, all right. I need a sip. We're about to launch into Silent Hill. And then, which is almost this entire row, and then Siren, which I included. I very specifically included 2 versions of Siren 2 for some reason. I wanted to rate them separately because they're so different. Points for the actual scratches on the cover art. Why you want people's socks off? There's nothing. Is there something you'd like to share with us? You and Quentin have something in common? As above, so below. I was gonna say, I mean, because we played Elden Ring not too long ago on stream, this is at the forefront of my mind, is the fact that everyone was like, Miyazaki, all your women don't wear shoes, okay? If you put Millennia in no shoes also, like, we're going too far, man. Like, she's basically naked. Like, let's give her something. And, like, they gave her the foot armor, and honestly, it just draws more attention to the fact that it's feet. It just draws so much more attention to it. Anyway, Silent Hill. Okay, here we go. This is one where we definitely get to take some time to bemoan the fact that we didn't get the same ones that everybody else got. Okay, so first off, here's Silent Hill 1 NTSC. I actually don't mind this cover. It's stark. It nabs your attention. There wasn't a point where I ever went, oh, it's just the inversion tool, even though that is kind of all it is. That is actually kind of all it is. She needs to protect her feet from all those prickly flowers. That's why she's so powerful. I don't hate this. It's fine. The NTSC cover is fine. Here's the PAL cover, which is a little bit more like, ooh, because we got Burned Alessa on there, who you barely see in the game. And then, Japan's box art, you see, is, very interesting. if I can find it. I do actually... Oh my god, is it just not on here? Here, let me try putting in PSX. Maybe oh, not OSX.
PSX.
Because it's very interesting. It's very... Here it is. Very simple. This is the Japanese box art. And I think out of the three, I actually like this one the most because it tells me nothing. It makes me go, why is there like a big weird blood smear on that wall? Like, what is this? What is this? Very different vibe. I like it a lot, actually. PAL one's great, but we are here to rate specifically this one. I think this one's fine. And I'm trying, I gotta think about no bias and whether or not it would get me to pick it up. It absolutely would. It absolutely would. This would get my attention. Where do I put it? Because this is another one of those where I could speak anecdotally about it grabbing my attention, you know. Okay. There we go. Silent Hill 2. Yeah, we'll pull up Japan first. Why not? Japan's Silent Hill 2 box art, of which there are actually several. It's fine. We just want to view this for like half a second. There are actually several. There's a couple different versions, but this is the version that I would see the most commonly.
Thank you for Lurk Nocturne.
This was one of the covers for 2 in Japan. It was the main cover before it hit like greatest hits and stuff like that. Yeah, it's got the fucking 9 red squares and it's just very cool. Of course, here's ours. I think it's great that we have Angela on the cover and not James. I think that's super great, actually. I think that's very solid. PAL cover, there it is. I think PAL got shorted. For once, PAL was the one that got shorted. As far as covers go. I feel like, yeah, when I see it in practice like this, it actually doesn't seem so bad as when I'm just looking at this. I want to say I have like, yeah. I want to say I have like, not the PAL, here's the PAL version, but I want to say I have multiple versions of Silent Hill 2, like Japan versions. So when I lived over there, I could just like go to the Super Bazaar, the book off, and like find cheap copies of them just for my, I try not to like to collect things, but it was something that I did. I made a point to get the Japanese covers. But yeah. Simple. Makes a statement. Doesn't tell me a lot about the game, which is something, you know, like, this is very contemplative. I think if it were a different color, like, let's say they had done this in red, I actually think I wouldn't be as interested. I think I would be like, okay. I think the green helps make it stand out in a sea of reds in the horror genre. Man, fuck James, I'm my homie say James. Yeah, there isn't much of a cover on the PAL one. Yeah, the vision is there. The director's cut version maybe is a little better. This one, for me, it's similar to the first one and just like getting my attention and me being like, ooh, that's a game I want to play. But maybe we put it down here with Mizurna Falls and Resident Evil. Just because, let's say I hadn't seen anything Silent Hill before, and this was the first thing I was seeing, and I was like, what is this? It's intriguing, but Yeah, the vibe is doing more for me than the art itself. Alright, well look. Silent Hill 3. 3! I feel like 3 just struggles. Here's Pal. I like Pal's a little bit better than ours. And this is a fan-made one. Where's the... There it is. Japan cover. The Japan one's okay. Starting to get into the era, it was expected that people learn more about the game through publications and the cover. Yeah. I do think the NTSC one's the weakest, unfortunately. I like the PAL one, and I like that one of the eyes is clear. Like, she is looking you in the eye. Japan one's... If we're just gonna slap the main character on the cover, it's probably the best one of the bunch. And using the tile behind it isn't just part of the game, isn't just something that's in the game, but it's also kind of a callback to the Japanese Silent Hill 1 box art, and it has the same colors in it, even though the reds are overtaking the lighter colors. So Pal's is moody. Yeah, it's more moody for sure. Oh, Heather, I love you, but yeah, just seeing this is just like, it's just a face. It's just a face. It doesn't bother me, but it's just a face. The backdrop is interesting. Maybe I put it with Kuon because the backdrop is interesting, but it's just a face. Heather girl, you're a good lady. You're not a scaly lady. Why does the NTC version suck? Well, hold on to your butts, because we're about to do Silent Hill 4. Ah! Just take the ghost face off of it. Just take the face off of it, and I would be sold. The face makes me hesitate. And this is when you get to see. So here's the Japanese cover. Fill load. Come on, Moby Games. Heather's the girl you want to take on a date to Hot Topic and get milkshakes. It's like, it's so... The door is so strong. This one has a face on it. It is less clear what the face is, and therefore it does not seem to detract from the mood and atmosphere. I think this one, while I do like this one, I think this one captures the mood of the game the best. This is PAL? Yeah, PAL's is fine. It is very reminiscent of the energy that the trailers for the game had. This is what we think you want to see. This is what the trailer told you. This is the actual vibe of the game. I think Japan's version of Silent Hill 4's cover might be my favorite of the Japanese covers. It's just, I don't know. It's a very... Makes me shiver. I love it. I like 4 a lot. But since we are gauging this guy, yes, the face takes something away from it for me, but I love the door. The door is great, so it's gonna be in B. Where am I gonna put it here? Why don't you hang out next to Haunting Ground? Let's hang out next to Haunting Ground. The 3 genders of Silent Hill 4, the room. D for door, no. Okay. And next up should be oranges. You heard me right. Okay, so Origins is basically, this is basically the same cover that okay, so hang on, that's not the Japanese cover. It's not called Origins in Japanese, you dinguses. Here, this is good enough. So here's Origins. I do like that they put the 0, because that's its title in Japanese, the Silent Hill 0. They put the 0 and the O as a little nod for the logo. Face looks similar to years after Del Taco. Nah. Oh no, I said oranges. No, I did say oranges. That is a running joke that has jumped several friend groups. I call it Silent Hill oranges because when you say origins, it really does sometimes sound like you're saying oranges. And there's like a whole, was it one of my energy drink videos when I was living in Japan? Like one of my like health drink videos where I was like rating them using like the Silent Hill oranges meter or something. I don't know. Oranges were involved. Yeah, I even kept like, I managed to find an old part of a thing I made with like a happy looking orange over Alessa's face. And I even used it in our Origins like thumbnails when we played it on stream. It's just a thing. This cover's fine. I will admit that if I didn't know anything about Silent Hill, or like if I was just looking at this with no information whatsoever, I would think this was the bad guy who murdered somebody. Sorry, Travis. Here's the PAL cover. It's a little, it's kind of like Silent Hill 2's. I don't really know what they were going for or what's going on. Zero's is a little different. The focus is a little different. It's just Alessa on the cover. Doing her thing. So, oranges were involved. Look, I just want my goddamn game police around it. He isn't? No, not unless you really want him to be, which is weird. It's like a really weird thing. It's like, yeah, just kill tons of enemies and you get the "you were a bastard all along" ending. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah. By default, no, he wasn't, because he shows up in Homecoming. He wasn't arrested for being a serial killer or something like that. Yeah, I think it's an all right cover. I'm not like, I don't think any of the Origins covers are stellar. This, however, the cover for the soundtrack, I don't care that it's Pyramid Head and not the Butcher. It's just good art. It's just good Ito art. I don't care. Okay, Origins. Where do I put you? You would certainly get my attention. I think you're a B. Maybe you can hang out next to Village. Yeah. Between Village and Darkseed. Very nice rendering. The Toaster, I had to read "I Want to Be Evil" in Eartha Kitt voice. I hope someone else did as well. I love that song.
I wanna be evil. I wanna spit tax. I wanna be evil and cheat at Jax.
Or whatever it is she says. Forget. I'm probably mixing up two lines. Yeah, I mean, just look at this. Look at this fucking art. Look at this Ito art. Ah, there's a bullet coming out of a trumpet. It's like, anyway. Homecoming. Is it homecoming time? It's homecoming time. I'm a weirdo who Still likes Homecoming, even though it's not necessarily a very good game. It was there for me in a very rough period in my life. What can I say? Can I get a bigger version? Please? Fine Art America. Why are they all so small? This is the PAL cover, I believe. Because it didn't come out in Japan. They didn't release this one in Japan, funny enough. Can I get... Okay, let me just... Good enough. The box art is this with a frame around it that says Shepherd at the bottom. You know that voice? Would you glad you read it in fun voice? Eartha Kitt! Sorry, we might have to make a pit stop. We might have to make a pit stop. Hang on. This is important. I must educate. It's gonna get muted in the VOD. That's okay. Hang on. I gotta pause this so I can bring up a thing. I gotta educate. What's Eartha Kitt? She was Catwoman in the Adam West Batman. She's my favorite Catwoman. That's not her claim to fame. What a cool lady. I just wanted to be Eartha Kitt when I was a kid. I didn't understand that I couldn't be Eartha Kitt. I didn't understand. Again, okay. Okay, hang on. I gotta change sources here. I gotta turn it up. Yeah, we talking Eartha Kitt. Oh no, you're being educated.
I've posed for pictures with ivory soap. I've petted stray dogs and shied clit of dope. My smile is brilliant. My glance is tender. But I'm noted most for my unspoiled agenda. I've been made Miss Rheingold, though I never touch beer. And I'm the person to whom they say, you're sweet, my dear. The only etchings I've seen have been behind glass. And the closest I've been to a bar was at ballet class. Prim and proper, the girl who's never been kissed. But I'm tired of being pure and not chaste. Like something that seeks its level. I wanna go to the devil, I wanna be evil. I wanna spit tax. I wanna be evil and cheat at jacks. I wanna be wicked. I wanna tell lies. I wanna be mean and throw my ties. I want to wake up in the morning with that dark brown taste. I wanna see some dissipation in my face. I wanna be evil. I wanna be mad. But more than that, I wanna be bad. I wanna be evil and jump an ace just to see my partner's face. I wanna be nasty. I wanna be cruel. I wanna be daring. I wanna shoot pool. And in the theater, I want to change my seat just so I can step on everybody's feet. I wanna be evil. I wanna hurt flies. I wanna sing songs like the guy who cries. I wanna be hard. I wanna drink booze. And whatever I've got, I'm eager to lose. I wanna be evil. Little evil me. Just as mean and evil as I can.
Identity load there. Yep. She's so fun. So fun. She also has a song called I'd Rather Be Burned as a Witch. She, like, Early Cat, man. So I wanted to be her so bad when I was a child. Anyway. Okay, let me turn our music back down so that it doesn't, like, harm anybody's ears. There we go. Okay, and back to Silent Hill. You see the appeal? Thank you. Yes. So every time anyone writes me like, I want to be evil, I don't read it like that. I read it, I want to be evil. I always read it in the kid's voice. Anyway, if I didn't know anything about this game, if I didn't know anything about Silent Hill, if I saw this, especially with the frame where it says Shepherd on it. God, these are so small. I actually would be fairly interested as far as, like, you know, just a couple characters slapped on the cover goes. Especially because, yeah, there's stuff written back here. It's not terribly interesting stuff, but if you didn't pay that close attention to it. And then, yeah, this game didn't come out in Japan, but it did come out PAL. This is the PAL cover. PAL cover is actually kind of neat. So Homecoming was coming out around when the movie was coming out, so they wanted the nurses to look like the nurses in the movie specifically. So that is a thing in this game. Yes, she was. You remember this game? This art from Game Stop? Yeah. Yeah, okay, but where do I put it, though? This one's kind of tricky. Maybe over here between Clone and Fatal Frame 4? I don't think I can give it B tier. It's more of a C tier. Yeah, they have very intense expressions. Even though Alex never looks that intense in the game. But definitely, like, this actually looks, I will argue, if you know anything about the game, this actually looks like how I imagine Alex would look in a family picture, whereas Josh doesn't. Josh would actually be maybe a little softer. Because he was treated nicer, but... Shattered Memories, I believe, is next. Should be next on list, yes. So this one's it's basically just different versions. Here's PAL. Here is NTSC. They're almost the same. It's just very slight differences. The Japanese cover is, I want to make sure I pull up the right one because it had a black Wii case. It was one of those rare black Wii games. It's almost the same art, but the Japanese version opts to keep the iciness only around the edges and not on the child. But it's clearly based on the same bit of art because of the way her eyes look. It's a similar look for each one. They brightened it up for us and put like a JPEG of a town in the background and like, I don't know. None of them like stand out as the one. This one also has the JPEG, but it's blurrier, so it doesn't look like a JPEG. I guess Japan probably has the strongest one, just because it stands out a bit better. Generally could have explored themes of PTSD and wartime stressors and the challenge of coming home to civilian life. Hey, you're a soldier. You do the fighting's real good. That's what I expected from it originally. You never seen a Black Week case before? There's very few games that have this. So this one and Night of the Sacrifice is the English title. It is... Where is it? This one. You can see where my mouse is pointing. This one. The English title is Night of the Sacrifice. It never actually came out in English, but there is a fan... There might be a fan translation. I don't know if there's a fan translation that can actually be played or if people have just gone into, like... help you understand it. Shattered Memories. This one's alright. I think the JPEG kind of throws me off a little bit. I think it can hang... Maybe it should hang out with Dino Crisis? And Prisoner of Ice. That's funny. I almost have 3 icy ones in a row. Oh, that's funny. Because I'd definitely be interested, because it's not often that you see themes of, say, ice. Like, literal ice on your horror covers, so... Ice tier. No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's eerie. Black Week cases are wild. Like I said, I have some of the I have a bunch of the Japanese versions of games, only for Silent Hill, and yeah, the Black Week cases is wild. It is a wild thing to behold. Okay. Downpour. Downpour! I feel like we kind of got shorted on Downpours. It's not the worst, but would you like to see the Japanese box art first?
Ice cream tier.
Hi, Woody. Yeah, it's a lot of box art. I like the Japanese one a bit better. I think it evokes the atmosphere of the rainy town a little better.
Thank you for appreciating the goat.
He screamed very intense. Now, is this Pal? Yeah, this is Pal. Pal's is odd. I'm not a fan. I actually think this is one of the few ones where I think Pal... Silent Hill is one of the only series where I feel like Pal gets shorted more regularly. They get some okay ones, but then they get ones like this. They're just like, why would you zoom in on this enemy's face? Why? I vaguely get what you were going for, but not really. It's just not good. And then you have... Oh, it's not going to show up. Well, there you have it, right here. Then you have the NTSC one, which is fine. I actually kind of like that they went for the more amber color here, because I think it works better with this image behind it, whereas this is a little bit more actually the vibe of the game, you know. Murphy with an axe. He's going to accidentally throw off the side of a building. Where do we put it? Not very high. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe like there. I don't think I need to drop it to D tier. It's not spectacular, but... Speaking of, actually, here's one that does need to bump down. Sorry, Dead Space 2. I love you to pieces. I adore you. Your box art is not good. I should probably even just fucking... Yeah, put you here with, like, the faces. Like, I was way too kind to you. I adore Dead Space, but my god. Such a boring cover.
Accidentally. Hi, Kosniak.
Like, strong in terms of concept, but you like the lighting of it. Yeah, I like what how they tried to make this work, you know? They tried to make it work. Okay, so next up. What is this? For the longest time, when this first dropped, I didn't even notice the choker. I didn't even realize this was supposed to be Maria. I thought it was supposed to be Heather, and I was extra confused. I'm like, Heather's a child. Don't fucking make her make that face. What are you doing? But it's Maria, so it's okay. This is not a good cover. This is not a good cover. This makes me go, I'm sorry. Like, why does the hair end here? Like, what? Why does it like, why is it like this? This is a terrible logo, too. Like, they didn't even save it with the logo. Extermination, awful cover. Logo saves it. Fucking, no. It's so bad. I would look at this and be like, nope, this is at least D tier. This is at least D tier. This is so bad. Oh god. Yeah, this is like my feelings about Third Birthday. It can hang out next to Third Birthday at the bottom of D. Fuck that cover. At least they tried to make it a cover, unlike Overblood or Galarian's, but like Higarashi's only down here because I so severely don't vibe with this particular art style. Ugh. God, it's really bad. Like, from like here over, it looks like they tried, and then everything over here is just like, no, they didn't try at all. They didn't try at all. All right, we got one more. Was this 2000's album cover, right? What is Maria doing? Yeah, what is Maria doing? Oh, boy. Book of Memories. You know, having creepy hands coming out of a book isn't the worst thing. Don't hold it against it that it's got a Vita thing. The Vita was supposed to be pretty good. Is this PAL? Is that PAL? I don't even know. Did Japan even get Book of Memories? Let's see. PAL. I want to say this is PAL. Based on the Peggy, but oh my god, just fucking it's fine. But maybe not. This says PAL. I honestly maybe is a little bit more visually interesting. Like, it actually seems like it's trying to tell a story. I mean, this is the Japanese one. This is the Japanese one. It just makes it look like it's Silent Hill Arcade, which it's not. That's a different thing. The cover gives epic piano music vibes or an organ.
It's hands because you play the view with your hands.
Honestly, I think Japan's is the weakest for once. Funny enough. But they were probably like, nobody in Japan's gonna fucking buy this unless we put Pyramid Head on the cover. But yeah, this was the North American one. I believe. Again, it's just one of those things where it's like, well, assuming I didn't know anything about the game, I'd probably peek at it, but I kind of want to put it... Where do we put this? I don't think it necessarily deserves a D. Maybe you can hang out here. Which one's more interesting? Yeah, it can hang out next to Downpour, because I was gonna say near Sanitarium, and that's where I put Downpour. Although, to be honest, I feel like Silent Hill probably shouldn't be below these guys. I love my eyeballs. You're a little more interesting than that. Here. There you go. Oh boy. Perspectives and cover art can be wacky sometimes. Why is the protagonist holding their crowbar like it's he's in Gary's mod? Okay, is that Is that all of them? Other than, yes. Yes. Hi, Silent Hello. I love you. I love you. You're wonderful. You're flawed, but wonderful. All right, so here's the cover for North America. This has been the image on everything. Did Pal get something different for the physical copy? Or no? I like this, but it looks like it might be Japanese. Here you go. There's the... Seems like it's the same. Oh, day 1 edition. Yeah, it seems like if anyone got something different, it was only the Japanese, and that's a maybe. That's a maybe. Unless, you know, I don't know about the physical copy of this game. It could be reversible. I don't know anything about it. Now this... That's a cool cover. This is supposedly a steelbook. I don't know if this ended up being the final version. But... Just saying. Yeah, this is a very solid cover, especially for just like, oh, it's just quote unquote just a character slapped on the cover. Is it their strongest? Not necessarily, but I think it's one of their I would say this is possibly their strongest one that just features a character on the cover. Yeah, let's put it over here. Let's put it up here next to, so hold on. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Alright, it's siren time. It's siren time. So, siren. First of all, I think we got an okay cover for once. North America. It's like a horrifying album cover. You want to play it, but you don't want to give Konami money. If you wanted to give them less money, you can always just go through a gray market site. Just, I mean, you know, because that's totally legit. It's just getting copies of things like extra on sale. I think we got an okay cover here. I think this is fine. It's striking. Here is the Japanese cover, which when you see the cover for Siren 2, which I ended up including, I think just because it was so different, but then I was like, why didn't I do that for Siren 1? Oh well. You know what? Actually, hang on. I think we can. Hang on. I think I'm still allowed to add things. No, you know what? I don't want to risk it because this tab's been sitting here forever, and I'm worried if I add anything, it'll, you know. But the Siren 2. What did the PAL cover look like? Is this PAL? Or is that fan made? Hang on. Here you go. Because PAL got the Japanese naming convention. It's called Forbidden Siren versus just Siren. This one's fine. It's not great. It's fine. But yeah, if you look at Siren 2, which we did not get in North America, you'll kind of understand. So like here's Siren Japanese cover, Siren 2 Japanese cover. They're very, like, this is the art style for it. You should have called it Siren Hill. I mean, I don't know if there's anyone in chat that doesn't already know this, but the guy that went on to direct the Siren games directed the first Silent Hill game. Like, he was the godfather of Silent Hill. He was the one who came up with the, you know, original stuff. So yeah, like, these are interesting. And they have a very specific vibe to them. Maybe I'll ignore, since I can't include it. Maybe we'll just put you down there, Sarah, too. Sorry. Siren is fine. I think Siren's pretty good. Now, here's the... So, PAL next to the Japanese cover. I don't mind the creepy lady on the left. I think including this weird thing that I don't even think you see till like the end of the game, I want to say. And then having just black in the lower right corner, it's an odd choice. I think this would actually be a stronger cover if you brought this lady here further into frame, bring her closer into the frame, and then leave all of this as stark black, if that's the thing you want to do. I think that's the move. We did not get Siren 2. So I decided to include it, but with the PAL cover. So let's see. Initial Siren is pretty strong, I would say. At least high B, if not A tier. Yeah, I'll put it way up here. B user high static. And then, oh gosh, okay. That's why I did this. Okay. We didn't get Forbidden Siren 2, but I wanted to include it, and that's why I have both of these. Let's pretend we did get it, meaning we would probably get something more akin to this. And it's just not very good. It's just kind of lame. Somewhere down here. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. And we'll ignore the Japan cover. I shouldn't do that. Siren Blood Curse, which I actually really like. I actually really like it. I like it a lot. So, in English, known as Blood Curse. In Japanese, known as New Translation. Which I think is almost a better name for it, but Blood Curse is fine. So Siren Blood Curse, this PAL cover is basically the same as what we would have gotten if we had a physical copy in North America. We did not get a physical copy, but it was basically, this was the box art used to promote it. And then the Japanese version was just slightly different. Slightly different. Silent 3 and C tier is valid, but man, I cannot rank it so low because seeing that cover gives me so much joy. But I have to rank it based off of whether or not it would make me buy the game if I didn't know anything about it. And I love Heather, but her face ain't gonna do it. Her face ain't gonna do it. Angela ranked a little higher because it's a little moodier. But yeah, Siren Blood Curse, you know, it's alright. I kind of want to put it... It's... It's dark, it's interesting. I don't think I can put it in B, though, because I might miss it on the shelf, to be frank. I kind of want to put it next to Prey, because they have similar problems, where it's like, if you take a moment to look at them, they are interesting. They're not, you know, completely lame. However, you might miss them as you're, like, scanning the shelves. That's the issue. I adore Siren Blood Curse, but yeah, no, I can't rank it any higher than that. Same here. If I didn't know about the originals, I'd probably lay it. She looks freaked out and a little sad, which is your vibe, freaked out and sad.
Oh boy, okay.
So this one's a little tricky because there's some different versions, but I'm gonna do my best here. So I did grab the first 3 Splatterhouse games, just the first 3. So here we go. We got Splatterhouse, we got Splatterhouse 2, and we're not gonna rank the 360 game. I did not put that one on the list. It would be D tier. Where's Splatterhouse 3? Give me Splatterhouse 3. Is it this one? Yeah, part 3. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do our best with these 3 versions. I tried to do my best. I love how on the Splatterhouse cover, it's like, at first, it just looks like one guy, like, waving his chainsaw, but actually then you're like, oh no, he has chainsaws for arms. Oh. Hi, Ginger. The green goo. Don't know about the green goo. I don't know. Turbo graphics. It's very cheesy and silly and fun, but I don't like it as much as the other ones. It's just, like, the logo is very silly. Where do I put this? I'll put it next to Illbleed, maybe, because it's silly in a similar way. But Splatterhouse 2, like, look at that. Look at that. Look at that cover. Oh my gosh. And look, it's a big beefy dude being grabbed by tentacles for once. Let's go. Green Goo is giving goosebumps. I know, like, so it's like I don't hate it, but the logo's doing more work for me than the cover, yeah? To defend the green goo, it was used in place of blood to avoiding the X ratings. Yes. Yes, yes. The thought came to my head, but I did not actually voice it out loud, that the green goo is probably to downplay the blood. Temu Xenomorph. Look at what is going on with this ghosty. Much more fun. I don't like, I'm probably not gonna buy it, but it's definitely more interesting than the first game. It's definitely not boring. Let's put it next to Typing of the Dead. And then Splatterhouse 3, which just, like, I wanna know. This looks like a romance cover. Not just because he's shirtless and with torn jeans. It really looks like he and the monster are looking at each other longingly, and I'm here for it. It's so good. Like, what is this? Almost, this is like theatrical ballet way of, like, waving this double-headed axe around. Like, it looks like they're doing a little, like, they're like bonking their noggins together, like, I love you too. Oh, this looks like Splatterpunk cover. Axe guy, you want some pizza rolls? Yeah, I need to flip the laundry first. The next Chuck Tingle novel right here. It's so real. I love this. I love this. I would immediately pick this up and be like, what's going on? What is this game? I love this. I love this. I almost... Where do I put this? Where do I put this? I love this so much. I want to put it in A tier. I want to put it in A tier. I shouldn't. I really like it though. I'm gonna put next to Outbreak, no joke. It's just so fun. It's so fun. S tier. If we're just ranking the art, that would be great. Oh, okay, I have to take another sippy. It's Splatterhouse down. Stalker start. Oh boy, okay, so first one should be Shadow of Chernobyl, yes. I always second guess my knowledge of which game came when. It's definitely the best of all three. So this one is gonna this first one, this one's gonna suffer. I'm sorry, Stalker fans. This one's gonna suffer because the texture of this face makes me uncomfortable. Not in a, ooh, what's going on kind of way. In a, get it away from me. I feel like if I touch this cover, I'm going to feel that texture and I'm going to freak out. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's neurodivergence. I just get it away from me. I don't want to look at this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I'm sorry, Stalker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was gonna try to put it in D tier to be like, but if I didn't have that reaction, I would put it... I hate it. I hate it so much. Looks like a new metal band. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's absolutely supposed to be somebody with like radiation burns or something. Absolutely. But I can't handle it. But I also can't handle putting it below some of these low D tiers. So some of those may have to come down. What was next? Was it Call of Pripyat? Okay, Call of Pripyat. The fact it really looks like I'm just looking at a dude in the front and then the back is the background kind of grabs me like the way a Fallout game would grab me at a glance, in a similar way. I don't even mind the gas mask guy. I know it's really weird of me because I play these games, but when the gun is like right here, it just like it just makes me go I'm suddenly like way less interested. Like, look at this enhanced edition version. Even this, I don't love it, but it almost grabs me more, but it doesn't because it doesn't have the Ferris wheel. Because I'd be like, Chernobyl Ferris wheel. I'm interested. Where do I put you, Call of Pripyat? How about you go here next to Project Firestarter? Yeah? And then Clear Sky is next. Hi, Jack. Your favorite rifle platform, just like the one I grew up with. I feel like this cover would work better for a box art for a tabletop board game. I can kind of see that. Clear Sky is a little different. Oh, it would be cool if I could see it. That'd be nice. I don't want the enhanced edition. Here. Come here. Show it to me. So you got some of the you and your stalker buddies hanging out. Not doing it for me. That art just the less yellow version I mind a little less, but actually it does. I say that and then I'm looking at it again, I'm like, kind of take something away from it, don't it? Yeah. This is like random just dudes on cover. Just not doing it for me. Stalker 2! Which is actually the only one that I've really spent time with. I feel like I started Shadow of Chernobyl at some point. I remember nothing about it. This one has the most, like, somebody tried to think about making a composition going on. Definitely like it the most out of all of them. And I liked what I played of this game, but it did suffer. The optimization was just so bad that at a certain point, being in any hub just tanked the stream so bad I couldn't keep playing it. T. Fantastic, your dad is Desert Storm Vet. Oh, okay, yeah. Should always prefer complex platforms over American engineering. That's fair. I also like the color palette of it. Again, somebody sat down and thought about this more than not at all. I'm not like wild about it, but it would definitely get my attention. I think it can gosh, where do we put it? There. I had to think about that really hard. It's a better one, but yeah. Alright, how about the Suffering? I remember when this game dropped and it was like, ooh, what an interesting idea for a game. The Suffering. Look at that cover. Look at this House on Haunted Hill cover. Look at this. Hey, all of the enemies are based on different ways people have been executed in the prison system. Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. This one probably is more the color. Closer to the color that we'd actually... Remember Midway? Yeah, this would definitely get my attention. This would definitely get my attention. Where do I put it? Maybe... Like, at a glance, it's not necessarily a game that I'm like, ah, come here. Also, why did I put ring... Oh, it's because I was putting it next to those two. Those need to come down. I gotta range this.
I gotta range this.
Maybe I'll do that later, though. Off stream, so you guys don't have to sit here and listen to me. You can just worry about what tier things are in. I'm willing to put it low B. Suffering 2. Not as strong. Did Midway make Monster Madness? They might have. I can't remember. You were hunting Vesarios and Rise. So if we're back with the Splatterhouse 3, or that X makes no sense. It seems like maybe they initially started making that X from one angle of perspective and then changed the perspective, but then didn't fix the axe. This just makes it look like he's Wolverine in prison. It's just not very good. I'm sorry, but no. No. Oh, and there's and then there's this version as well, which is somehow the version I ended up with. It's also not good. Regardless of which version it is, it doesn't matter. It's a bad art. It's a bad one. It's really boring. It's boring. Okay. Okay, this is one of the only, possibly the only, besides the Ring Infinity game? No. I'm lying. What am I talking about? It's a whole bunch. Sweet Home! What a tiny art. Can I get a bigger version? That's like not poorly. No. There you have it, Sweet Home. The infamous godfather of things like Resident Evil. He is basically delivering. Fair enough. Bergabin Super Soldier game from it, yeah. Looks like the X-heads were also upside down. They might have been. Oh, Sweet Home. I love having, like, I love that it's all these, like, actual people. But it's, I mean, well, here's the, you know, I was trying to get a actual screenshot from inside the game. Here we go. Yeah, it's that style. But man, that's a solid cover. I like it a lot. I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's good. It's good. Alrighty. Alright, we're coming up to the last. Alright, System Shock. Similar to Doom, I wanted to compare System Shock with System Shock. Because the focus is a little different. And they were not wrong to refocus and be like, but Shodan, though. Shodan is what ties these games together. She's really important. And, yeah, this just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, Sweet Home is basically an RPG. It is an RPG. It's very interesting. You do things like one of the characters has a vacuum cleaner, and you're like, why does he have a vacuum cleaner? But there'll literally be things where it's like, oh, there's like broken glass in the way. But if you bring the guy with the vacuum cleaner here, he can clean up the broken glass. It's very interesting. This is just such a good piece of fucking art. It's more reminiscent of System Shock 2, obviously. So yeah, like System Shock, I'm sorry, System Shock. I'm really sorry about this, but like nah though. Like, yeah, like nah. But like System Shock remake, pretty good. Now, bear with me here. It's pretty good. It's super solid art. It still is not going to grab me the same way some others. I'm going to put it next to I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Because System Shock 2, I think, even though System Shock went back and was like, let's have Shodan be on the cover, I still think System Shock 2's cover is stronger as far as showing the face of Shodan. Like, it's so good. There's more contrast. Like, here's System Shock, and it's good, and I like that it is more, or I should say, like, less obvious what it is, like, what the face is, but you know, if you know, you know, kind of deal. Shodan is just so strong. Strong villain. Strong villain. This would make me go, oh, and yeah, A tier. A tier for me. I would be locked in from the moment I laid eyes. And I'm very happy that we've got that Night Dive's been doing these remakes and remasters. Yeah, Systems Arc 2 is just so iconic. The cover is good. There's not a lot more you can say about that. Oh, here we go. Is this the last of the Japan onlys? No. Funny enough. Teresia. This one, actually, maybe, did this one come out? This one wasn't Japan only. Okay. I wanted to buy this, and I never did, and I should have. It's one of those weird things where it's like, I never bought it. And I really should have when I had the opportunity, but it was always so pricey. Access Games. For a creepy visual novel-y kind of thing. It's alright. Actually, what's the Japan box art like? Yeah, here it is. It's a little different. Or actually, this might be something. Is Dear Emil part of the main one, or was it a second one? Because the art I have in there is this one. I wish I could make out better what's actually happening at the end of this hallway, because I don't hate this perspective. I just think the glaring light is maybe doing it no favors. Teresia is fine. I don't think it's wildly exciting. I think we could put it, you know, in here somewhere.
Good night, Static and Six.
Get some good sleeps. Thank you for hanging out. Alright, we're almost there. The Thing! I would have never guessed that they would have, speaking of Night Dive, that they would have ever. So here's the remaster, but it is based off of the old cover, just with some color change choices that I think were a good idea. So it's kind of hard to make out that there is anything happening behind these guys at a glance. I mean, it's The Thing, but it's just not that attention grabbing, to be frank. Low C or high D? It's The Thing. So that's like doing a lot of heavy lifting, as I like to say. Sure. The John Carpenter said this is the canonical sequel to the movie. Still a while. I mean, John Carpenter, if you, also loves to play Xbox and probably wouldn't mind saying a few things if they didn't seem too blasphemous for the right check. I hope that doesn't make me sound like I'm like implying something weird about John Carpenter. Until Dawn! Okay. We're not going to talk about them remaking a thing that was only a couple of years old and desperately did not need to be remade. Let's just look at the box art. Very good art. Nice choices. Good art direction. Very solid. If I think about it too hard, having it be a skull into the hourglass is a little awkward, actually, instead of just having a skull peering out from an hourglass, but it's totally fine. You don't need to think about it that hard. Just at a glance, you're like, ooh.
What's this? What's this?
This is quite solid. Where do I put you until dawn?
Ba-dum.
Something like that.
Reading horror box art.
Purely all the box art. Here's your take. I really didn't care for Until Dawn. I think, you know what? I think that's very fair. I think it's a game that had its moment, had its time. Used the unfortunate appropriated W word, and I really wish they hadn't fucking done that. But it had its time, it had its moment, but then once the moment had passed, it was kind of like you can't go back. You can't go back to Until Dawn. And when I tried out Until Dawn at a friend's house, and I was like, I think all of these characters are terrible, and then I realized, no, that's the point. I'm supposed to root for maybe one or two that I think are alright, and everybody else, like, don't get too attached. Because you might fuck up. It's not a bad game, just feel the whole scare. My friends who manslaughtered my sisters was eh. Who didn't, also, it was very like, no, that was just, it was just bad luck. Like, that was nobody's fucking fault. It was nobody's fault. Heard the movie was baffling. I forgot they did that. No, I'm not doing every single horror game under the sun. I'm afraid Burrito. Darkwood's pretty good, but I did not include it because I'm trying to do. If I started including every horror game that may or may not have had a limited physical release, I would be here all year. So I picked out 200, and we're almost to the end of our list. Okay, here we go. I had to do it. Vampire D box art. I own this game. I have a copy of this game. D. Speaking of characters that I wanted to grow up to be. Honestly, I don't remember this game being that bad. I don't get that far, but it wasn't that bad. And yes, your hand, the weird face in the hand was totally part of your powers. Third person action. Kind of almost a little, you know, got that almost slightly Castlevania-y vibe to the aesthetic, obviously, but like it's its own thing. Justin Charlie, not really wasteful, but it's like he was so chipper given his sister sounded like teacher's a good big red flag. Yes. This game's alright. This game's alright. I don't really know how I would rate it as a horror game, but just on its box art, as far there's not a lot. We don't have much vampire representation here. That's very good. I think it's clean. I think it expresses what it is pretty well. I think it gets to be down here in B. And D's my fave. I think I regardless of how they're referred to in like the movies and stuff, D was always my kind of like gender not important favorite character. It's like they changed my brain chemistry the first time I ever saw them. And it was the old movie, okay? Not the newer one with the fancier art. Which isn't that new anymore. I had to get a light gun game in here that wasn't House of the Dead. I played this game. I owned this game for a while. I don't remember anything about it. Yeah, I don't remember anything about it. When did okay, wait, hang on a second. I am gonna look something up here. Don't ask me to rank it. I'll be very fast. Okay. Vampire Knight. Let's see. Just out of curiosity. First one of those was when? 2001? 2001, okay. And then this game came out when? What was that other game that was like somewhere between this and Devil May Cry? Chaos something? Okay, so this game came out like within a few months of Devil May Cry, funny enough. Because that's all I can think of when I see these two guys with their... I just think of Jackpot. I mean, I did end up picking this up, so I have kind of an anecdotal bias of it. It's actually not that great of a cover, though. To be fair. But we're looking at it now. How about there? Next to the Resident Evils. Isn't there also an anime called Vampire? That one I think was different. Yeah, here you go. Vampire Knight. It's a harem thing. Was Vampire Rain next? Yeah, okay. I remember working at the store and we had so many copies of this game at any given time. Because it was an early... wasn't it a fairly early 360 game? Or am I misremembering that? Or did it just come out during like the holidays so everybody bought it? Come on, Moby Games. Come on, Moby Games. Give me the bigger version. I can safely say this cover never enticed me. This cover is hilarious, I think. Why is this guy not the focus? Why have they chosen to leave this little gap here with this just totally cut off dude with a gun in the background who's basically photobombing the image? Yeah, early 360 PS3 was a time. Like, I don't think I've ever paid enough attention to this box art. Like, it immediately makes me look away. I'm just like, I don't care about this. I've never noticed this guy is, like, actually wearing, like, a fancy leather vest with zippers and things. And he's got, like, a six-pack. I forgot they came out with Altered Speed. That was a thing. Oh, God. Anyway, Vampire Reign's terrible. It is at the very least, it's D tier. The very least it's D tier. It's like, the fuck are you doing here, my guys? What are you doing here? Okay. This, I think, is the last. It is alive or something. What is the full title? It is aware. Virus. It is aware. Okay. Pal got it. So my Japan only thing is incorrect. Or is it PAL only? Is this PAL only? Oh my god. What is... Virus, it is aware. Hang on. Ooh, I'm gonna get you. This guy reminds me of the main vampire bad guy from the Frey comics. It is PAL only, I think. I was... Oh my god, why did I think this was a Japanese one? Probably just because Virus, it is aware, is a very Japan-sounding title. Came out in June 1999. It's from a French developer. Localized for France, UK, Germany, Spain, and Italy. Tie-in for a comic book film, Virus, from 99. I don't know anything about that. I mean, the subtitle, it is aware, is the part doing the heavy lifting here. This isn't the worst. If you want to get my attention. I don't think it's spectacular. Where do I put you, Virus? Do I put you down here somewhere? Or do I put you up here next to some of these guys? Let me stare at it a little more. Here we go. Virus, it is aware. Waxworks! We played a little bit of this. We did. Old school. Look at that. Look at that. I think I have this on GOG. I think that's where I have it. I really love how like it's easy to just glance at this and be like, huh, giant candle. There's faces all in the wax. It's a very neat idea for a game, too. I actually think this is pretty solid. So it gets to go and be... Kind of looks like it should be a Goosebumps book cover. Yeah, so it's like there's a wax museum you go into, but then you go into the different exhibits essentially, and each one plays out with a different story. I forget how they're all supposed to tie together for the overarching story, but yeah, some interesting things going on in that. All right, let's see here. White Day. I did include both White Days, mostly so I would remember to look at the old version versus the newer version. So North America only really knows this box art, technically. Do you have the old one? This is part of it. I'm not including 2 because people forget 2 even exists. Well, come on. I got the art image, so... I played the old original White Day, and I had to go through, like, the shenanigans you had to go through to get it to run on your computer. You basically had to run this totally sketchy little extra thing in the background to trick it into thinking you had a Korean computer. And then there was like a fan translation, I think, that maybe eventually... Was it a fan translation, or did I just play it in Korean? Oh, God. Okay, well, here, since I can't seem to get it, this is very small, but you get the idea. It's just like kind of a manhwa character in the foreground with like actual photo of an old school in the background. That was the old Korean version. But this is from the remake. This is the only version we ever saw. This one actually with the old manhwa would probably get my attention more. But this one, I actually really don't like this one. I think because she looks too young. She doesn't look like a high schooler. And it takes place in a high school. For God's sakes, it takes place in a high school. Why does she look like she's 12? Let's see, where do I put you? Pretty low. Yeah, something like that. Kind of looks like it's... the Waxworks thing, yeah. Hey, we just played this. X-Files, Resist or Serve. It's serviceable. It has the characters on the cover. It's, which is for the best. You probably don't want the stylized versions of them. How was Resist or Serve? It's a game. It was a time. It is very front-loaded. The first chapter is... like, the amount of time it took me to get through the first chapter. We beat chapter 2 and 3 in less than that amount of time. And I turned on the invincibility cheat. That was my main thing because I wasn't getting a lot of health. I had plenty of ammo, but if I stopped, I would have like 6 guys on me. I couldn't just like stop to take them out. I'd have to run, but then they'd all hit me in the process. So I ended up turning on cheats. Best part was when I then turned on one-shot kills just to see about this one hallway, and then I didn't end up turning it off. And I could one-shot bosses, and it was just funny. Even if I had played those parts normally, well, quote-unquote normally with only the invincibility cheat, chapter 2 and 3 are so much shorter compared to the first one. It would have been like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes more time. It really wouldn't have been a lot. Yeah, I was like kicking guys in the shin. Even before I turned on one-shot kills, I could then, because I was invincible, I could just kick people in the shins until they fell over. Like, I didn't even have to use my weapons. It was really funny. It's not a good game by any stretch, but it tries to be something, and it's X-Files, and everything happens so fast. Like, the cutscenes are so short, and they just keep going like bam, 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 bam. It's like cutscene, go. Just like, oh, whiplash. I would say, I recommend it. Play it with cheats. Make your own fun. Chapter 1's the strongest chapter out of the 3. Easy. As far as the box art goes, if I was like, oh, I've heard of this X-Files thing, I wonder what the game's like. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's doing anything terribly exciting, and I kind of want to put it in D. But Leon Kennedy, I'm looking at putting you down in D because you're not that interesting either. Yeah. Oh, I made my own fun. Funny enough, there was only one boss I couldn't punch. I couldn't punch out. It was weird. I had to get out my weapon. But I could punch the final boss once, and they fell over. They keeled over. They didn't even have a phase 2. It was kind of wild. Yeah. Yep. I need to pull... you guys down here. These two. Earlier I didn't have the energy for this, but now I do. There you go. I will say, so because I've been using Parasite Eve 2 as my going off of point. And I'm like, yeah, I'd probably put that cover above Parasite Eve 2. And then our final one, because these are just like weird placeholders. Zombie U, because this was another game that Zombie U. That we'd have so many copies, but it was supposed to be a pretty good game. I never touched it because I never had a Wii or a Wii U, so honestly, it's one of the stronger box arts featuring zombies that we've seen this entire time. Honestly, it's not bad. I think we can put it in B. I don't know where I'd want to put it in B, so I'll just put it next to Waxworks, but like very solid. It tells you in the most important details. Britain. Yeah, the art's solid. And yeah, it's just one of the more interesting zombie related covers we've had so far. Now I probably do want to do some tweaking here. Do some bumping around, but if I do that, if I do decide to do that, I will do it off stream and then put the final one in at the end of the VOD. But even if I move some things around, it's not going to be like I'm not moving any D's up to B or anything like that. It's not gonna be anything that wild. It might be something like, oh, I was too harsh on you. You come up, you bump up one, or I was too kind to you. You go down one. The main thing is to decide if anything needs to change for my S tier. I think I do want to put Clock Tower First Fear up there. I think I do. But I don't know if there's any others that I'm just like, oh, it has to, like, it's gotta be.
I can hear my cat yowling. I want to go get him.
So I should probably wrap this up. Yeah, like there's a couple here in the high A's where I'm like, oh, I could, but nah. Not gonna.
Hi, Meep. Thank you for the raid. We were just wrapping up our tier list.
I think I am a semi-final, mostly final. Might scooch some things around if it bothers me. Cause like if I were doing things pure off of like actual like, here's my opinion about this game, there's a bunch in D that would definitely be an F. There are some in C and B that would be an F, but Hang on, the cat is
he losing his little mind. Hang on. Hello. Hello. No, I can't follow you. I'm in the middle of something. Hello. Okay. I returned with Cat. He ran all the way to the other end of the house thinking I was going to let him in the garage. No, my dearie. It is too cold. Come on. It is far too cold. Come over here. We're wrapping upstream. Come here.
Meep.
Thank you again for the raid. I hope you had a good time.
Too many fucking and this is like me just trying to cover as many bases as I could in actual box art. Because I started thinking about trying to include games that, you know, had limited physical releases. Like, sorry, we're closed. And I was like, no. My list is already over 200 games long. This is plenty. Even if I were to, like, cut down on some of the ones I had in some of the series, it's still like, no. I did a lot of, like, I didn't include Gun Survivor, Dead Aim, and the Resident Evil games. I could have. I didn't include Revelations. I could have. I just didn't. Because it was just like, it's too many. It's too many.
Hello, darling.
Plus all the video games and let us catch up. Well, see, that's the silver lining of so many companies being like, oh my god, we're all in on AI. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll never buy a game from you ever again. You should see my backlog, man. Like, I got all the games in the world. I got old games I could replay that I haven't played in a million years. You know? So, I think the most important thing here to remember is that American McGee's Alice may not be... I may not like that game nearly as much as I like Madness Returns. But boy, did that cover art make an impression. And it continues to make an impression. It's never at the end. Have to order what's Control doing here. It's not really... It is, though. It is, though. Or at least adjacent. I mean, if Doom's in here, I'm going to include Control. See, Blair... I included one of the old Blair Witch games. Yeah, one of the old ones that are actually supposed to be pretty good. That I have not played. All of the old PC games have very similar covers, so I just did the one, but you know, we got that one in there. Yeah, like if we're gonna include something like Doom, which is very actiony and like plenty of people would argue isn't horror, even though it is actually kind of horror. Especially with the new Control coming out, it's like, yeah, it's adjacent enough. I think we can include it. Yeah, they're like all the same, just like with different colors in the background, the Blair Witch games. Which is, you know, fair enough. Get people to buy it upon seeing, you know, the thing. You know, so like the thing to take away from this is I mean, look at these old Alone in the Dark covers and stuff. Good art, man, and just things that stick with you, like Brea's piercing gazes or Shodan's piercing gaze, or like a good creepy house, like solid. You know? I don't know. Yeah, I started this list just as like, oh, I'm just basing it on the box art and the art itself, blah, blah, blah. But then it kind of morphed more into, no, I need to do this based off of, even if I didn't know anything about the fucking game, because my bias about the game is going to inevitably influence me, even if I'm trying to make it not. But to, like, this Japanese game, I've never played this. I didn't even like Alien Isolation that much. I know I'm in the minority, but Creeping Terror is generally considered to be a pretty mediocre DS game, but fun enough for people who really like scary games. Like, you're gonna get me to buy some stuff. It's just the way it is. And also, I wanted to make this list to show my own biases. Like, yes, I have a bias for creepy houses. I have a bias for, like, weird artsy things. I have a bias for, you know, certain kinds of art getting my attention. When I try to arrange them within their tiers, it falls apart, because it's like, oh, I can't put you Well, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out while I rambled for hours and hours, and that only took like half an hour longer than I thought it would. And that's because I went on a tangent about Resident Evil Requiem.